Well, the Joe and Hunter Biden saga is continuing to heat up, with House Republicans being given more ammo for their investigation. Miranda Devine from the New York Post is reporting that Hunter Biden was known to call his father during business meetings as some sort of a flex. This contradicts the president's continuous narrative that he has never spoken to his son about his overseas business deals. These overseas business deals have been called into question many times for potential conflicts of interest and influence peddling. Two of these business deals that are highly spoken about are Hunter Biden's ties to Ukrainian gas company Burisma Holdings and his failed attempt at a business venture with Chinese energy company CEFC. One of his former business partners, Devon Archer, also sat on the board of Burisma while Joe Biden was the vice president and is set to testify before the House Oversight Committee about what he witnessed at that time. It's a win for House Republicans who have wanted to probe those close to Hunter about what they know about the president's son and whether the president is lying when he says he has nothing to do with Hunter's deals. Chairman James Comer has released a statement on news that Joe Biden could have been more involved than he leads on. He said Joe Biden lied to the American people when he said he knew nothing about his son's business dealings. Evidence continues to be revealed that Joe Biden was very much involved in his family's corrupt influence peddling schemes, and he likely benefited financially. This includes deals with a corrupt Ukrainian oligarch and a CCP-linked energy company that generated millions for the Bidens and undermined American interests. It certainly appears that Joe Biden and his family put themselves first and Americans last, but corporate media and the Justice Department continue to cover up for the Bidens. The Oversight Committee will continue to follow the facts to provide the transparency and accountability that the American people demand and deserve. We look forward to speaking soon with Devon Archer about Joe Biden's involvement in his family's business affairs. Devon Archer is facing jail time for his own $60 million bond fraud and is set to expose that Hunter Biden called his father at least 24 times in the presence of people he was doing overseas business deals with. Let's go through just one occasion that Mr. Archer is set to elaborate on in his testimony. In December 2015, Devon Archer and Hunter Biden travelled to a resort in Dubai to have a drink with one of Hunter Biden's friends when they got a call from a senior Burisma executive who told them Burisma co-founder Mykola Zlochevsky needed to speak to Hunter. Once they all met up, they asked Hunter to ring your dad, to which he did on speakerphone and introduce the Ukrainian man to his father. While it's not clear what the phone call was for, Devon Archer is expected to be questioned on that. But at this time, Burisma Holdings was being investigated by Ukrainian prosecutor Viktor Shokin, who Joe Biden had publicly declared was corrupt and ended up threatening to withhold $1 billion in aid if the government didn't fire him. This situation was mentioned in an FBI FD 123 form that was released to the public last week by Senator Chuck Grassley. A highly credible informant for the Bureau detailed various interactions he had with Burisma executives who had claimed to have paid both Joe Biden and Hunter Biden $5 million each to take care of certain things. One of these things is alleged to be taking care of Viktor Shokin. The source confirmed in the document that in June 2020, co-founder of Burisma Holdings, Mykola Zlochevsky, claimed to have kept 17 audio recordings and 2 bank statements as evidence that he was coerced by the Bidens to pay them to ensure that Viktor Shokin was fired. He was fired in late March 2016 when Joe Biden was the VP and publicly boasted about. But Joe Biden has long maintained he has never spoken to his son or been involved in any way in his overseas business deals.
There's not a single solitary thing anyone said that was done wrong. I don't discuss business with my son. I didn't know that was the case when in fact I found out after the fact. And because I don't discuss things with my son or my family, because I don't want to have any knowledge of any, I don't want to be accused of, well, you talk with your son or you talk with your whomever. And so the fact is, though, everybody's looked at that. He did nothing wrong.
A narrative the White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, continued to push today.
So I've been asked this question a million times. The answer is not going to change. The answer remains the same. The president was never in business with his son. I just don't have anything else to add.
But time and time again, there proves to be contradictory testimonies or accounts from people close to the Biden family who say Joe Biden was involved. With Devon Archer set to testify before the House Oversight Committee, what does Chairman James Comer think of allegations the big guy could have been lying about his claim to have never spoken to Hunter about these deals?
Was he the closer of these deals? It sure sounds a lot like that, Sean. You look at the laptop and all the people that Joe Biden claimed he never had any dealings with or didn't know. There are pictures, there are text messages, there are emails. There's evidence through and through that shows Joe Biden knew these people, he spent time with these people, and he communicated with these people. Now, we know of several instances where Joe Biden was, in fact, in direct communication with some of these business associates, I guess you could call them. I call them people who are foreign nationals sending money through shell companies to the Biden family. But at any rate, Joe Biden was a lot more involved in Hunter's shady business schemes than he has ever admitted.
One of Hunter Biden's other business partners, Tony Bobulinski, worked closely with both Hunter and his uncle James Biden in deals done with CEFC. Mr. Bobulinski has since turned on the Bidens after accusing them of cheating him out of millions of dollars, prompting him to air various allegations. One of the things that he confirmed is questions surrounding who the big guy is after emails revealed that person would be receiving a 10% stake in the now failed venture with CEFC. He claimed that Joe Biden acted as the chairman in the family business deals.
I call it the Biden family because, as you know, it's been I say well documented, you well documented it, but I met with Joe multiple times.
Yes.
And now, subsequent to the election, he's now the sitting president of the United States, but there are hundreds of data points that Joe Biden was acting in a capitalistic term, I would say the chairman. The chairman of JP Morgan doesn't take 8 meetings down with the people, analyzing companies. The chairman serves a purpose, right? He's a figurehead. He shows up at meetings, shakes hands, advises, has faith in his team. Effectively, that was Joe Biden's role in the Biden family business ventures and around the world. And not just my venture. I met with him multiple times.
Last week, 2 IRS whistleblowers testified before the House Oversight Committee on their experience working on the investigation into Hunter Biden's taxes. They did that because they felt the investigation was interfered with by prosecutors from the DOJ, that they were blocked from pursuing certain charges, they weren't given access to all the available evidence, and that at every step of the way, Hunter Biden always benefited. They were even asked who they thought the big guy was.
When we're preparing for that interview and we're referencing that email, 10 held by H for the big guy, and from what I understand that to be his dad, President Biden.
Who did you take dad to be when she refers to dad?
The father of the subject is President Biden.
President Biden.